How you doing, folks? Excuse me. Yes, quite a long time ago, probably about 4 or 5 years ago, in the sort of the retro collecting video game scene on YouTube, there used to be a thing called Question to the Community, and what that was a YouTuber of sorts would pose a question to everybody, just for a bit of fun, to engage other people, get channels talking. Look at the speed of this idiot. But yeah, for whatever reason, that the whole kind of social part of the community, you know, the crossover between channels, it's largely disappeared, which I think is really, really sad. You know, there used to be a lot of interaction with other channels, and that seems to have dried up. I mean, the only interaction I have with other channels are people who sort of watch my channel on a regular basis. There were effectively people that were watching my channel, you know, rather than having YouTube channels. But yeah, there's quite a few of my friends have got their own channels, and you know, there is a bit of kind of crossover interaction. But there's plenty of other channels that used to kind of communicate and do things like this, and now it just doesn't happen. I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why that is. No idea. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I would give it a wee go and try and get this to become a thing again. So the question that I'm going to pose to people is, do you think the internet, online, whatever you want to call it, has that been a positive or a negative thing for video games? I'm talking about classic video games, really. I'm not talking about, like, you know, modern systems, whatever. And I'm not talking about, yeah, you can play online with your pals and that kind of stuff. What I'm thinking about is, what has the internet affected that was there back in the early days? I'm not wording this particularly well, am I? What I'm thinking about is, back in the day, you had, when a game came out, there was only kind of, I don't know, 3 or 4 ways you'd get to know about it. One, you would go into a shop, you would see the cassette, you'd go, oh, look at that looks good. You would look at the graphics on the back, whatever, and then you would decide, am I going to buy it or not? And a lot of the times it was like a lottery, you know, you didn't know what you were going to get. It might be good, it might be crap. The other way would be, one of the other ways would be, your mate would buy it and he would tell you, oh, this new game by Ocean is fantastic, and you would have a play of it, whatever. And more importantly, or the one I'm kind of getting at here, is you would have magazines. Commodore User, well, Commodore User was a thing. Computer and Video Games, Crash, Zap magazine. There was something really, really exciting about waiting for the latest edition of Zap, and that's because they would tell you about games that you didn't know about. You know, there was no internet, so you had no way of knowing that a new game was going to be coming out. You had no way of knowing that Jeff Minter was writing his latest game, or whatever it might be. You got every month, you bought Zap magazine, Crash magazine, Amtix magazine, whatever, Amiga User, Amiga Power, and you would look at, you know, it'd be features and it would talk about new games, and you go, oh my god, they're bringing Gauntlet out. And I mean, Gauntlet was one that really resonated with me. It was a game that I was so excited about seeing screenshots in Zap and other magazines, and it really got me kind of stoked and excited about getting a new game or waiting for it to get released. And yeah, every month there'd be more screenshots, etc. Then it would tell you it's getting released on the 23rd of February, and you would rush to your local software emporium and buy the game. And then obviously you had the reviews. You got the reviews, and you know, you would see Jazz Rignall giving it all that, the thumbs up, and there was just something really magical about reading about games in these magazines. And nowadays that has all disappeared. because you can watch videos. You can watch videos of the latest game. I mean, before I buy anything, you know, whether it's a piece of hardware, whether it's a new camera, whatever, you know, anything at all that I'm going to buy, unless it's a piece of furniture or something, you can go onto YouTube and you can just type the name in and it'll tell you all about it. I mean, one of the things that I was, it kind of got me thinking about this, I've recently bought an N-Go, which is a ZX or a Spectrum Next clone. It's exactly 100% compatible, but it's a lot cheaper. So I bought one of these off one of my mates, and I love it. It's a fantastic thing, and it got me thinking about, I want to be able to. I've now future-proofed the ability to play Spectrum games, because when you're playing, I've got a Mister, which is fantastic, but when you're playing like Spectrum games, especially kind of Spectrum games, there was a lot of reliance on the keyboard, and obviously there was buttons on the Spectrum keyboard that it's not always clear what button on a PC keyboard you can use. So having an actual Spectrum that I can plug into a monitor and I can load games from SD card is great. So it got me thinking about having something similar for the Commodore 64, and there's a thing called the Mega 65, which is really expensive. It's a lot of money. Anyway, I'm kind of going off topic, but the point is, I was able to watch a YouTube video about it. I watched this guy doing an unboxing, and it's got kind of pluses and minuses. The plus points is you're able to see it before you take the plunge and spend a lot of money on something like that. They may turn around and say, well, I don't think it's worth the money, you know, it's not good for this, it's not good for that. But the downside to it is it kind of spoils the excitement, because I've already seen a guy do an unboxing of the Mega 65, so if I ever was to get one, it's like, well, I've already seen it. So it's kind of spoilers. It's the same with games. You can see the game getting played, and you know, you can hear the guy talking about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Is it shite? Whatever. So yeah, there is definitely good points and plus points. But for me personally, I'm not saying I want to not have the internet, because if the internet didn't exist, I wouldn't be doing shit like this. But there's something about the magazines that I miss. I miss having the excitement of waiting for Zap to come in, and you know, picking it up and seeing what the latest games are. That was something really magical. You'd pore over every article, you'd pore over every page, look at it in detail and go, I can't wait for that. And then you would, the next month it would come out, oh, there's more screenshots of Gauntlet, whatever. And yeah, there was something great about it. And alright, you were always taking a bit of risk. You never quite knew what you were going to get. The game might turn out to be not that good. But that was just part and parcel of, I love how you see guys on bikes and they're actually on their phone. They're riding a bike and they're on their phone. I mean, I've got my camera sitting there, but I'm still looking out here. I'm looking at the camera on occasions. Yeah, there's just something that I really miss about magazines. So from that viewpoint, I'm going to say I prefer the olden days of looking at games, looking at screenshots, even taking a punt on a game that was in W.H. Smith. You didn't know whether it was going to be any good. There was something really magical about going back. Nowadays, it's like a safe bet. You buy a game, you know what you're getting. You've seen screenshots, you've seen the game getting played. So that is the question to people out in YouTube land. Do you miss the days of non-internet when it came to like games coming out? You know, you got the surprise, you've seen games that were going to be getting released. Or do you prefer it now with the internet, the fact that you can actually see a game getting played, you know exactly what you're going to get? So over to you folks. I would like to hear your comments, and hopefully this might actually get people back to doing these questions for the community. Till next time folks, as always, thank you very much for watching.